these ones. These are the ones.
Yes, see, no, it's totally fine. We're not live yet.
Okay.
And then this.
wanted to make sure.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Martinez. I do see your video. Do you want to test your audio? Commissioner Martinez. Oh, looks like you're on the phone.
Present.
Yes, I see that you've joined on two. Are you on your computer and the phone? You can probably just join through one. Hello? Commissioner Martinez? Are you able to hear us? Your mic is live.
There we go. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much for testing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, George. Okay, bye.
Good afternoon, Sharon. Would you like to do a mic check?
Yes, thank you for doing a mic check. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Thank you.
Thanks.
I can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairperson Luna.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I think we're ready to go. Welcome to our May Housing, Land Use, Environment, Transportation Committee meeting. I'm Margaret Abikoga, Chair of the committee. I'm here with my Vice Chair, Supervisor Arenas, and at this time, a quick PSA, please turn off or mute all electronic devices, including cell phones that may interrupt the meeting. And since both of us are here, we do have a quorum, so, and then I will call the meeting to order at 2:03. Yes, 2:03 p.m. And so with that, we can move on to item 2, which is public comment. This is for persons wishing to speak on or to address the committee on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the committee, but that is not on the agenda. The law does not permit committee action on or extended discussion on any item not on the agenda, except under special circumstances. Members of the public who wish to address the committee on a non-agendized item should request to speak at this time by giving a request to speak form to the deputy clerk if you're in the chambers, or by using the raise hand icon if attending virtually. Cynthia, are there any speakers?
We have no request to speak.
All right, then we'll close that and move on to item 3, which is the approval of the consent calendar and changes to the committee agenda. Supervisor Arenas, do you have any changes to the agenda or comments?
No, Chair. Thank you, but I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Actually, I wanted to ask if we could add item 6, which is the report from the Office of Supportive Housing on the housing development in Los Altos and Cupertino. If I could add that to consent, would that be all right with you?
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and add item 6 to the consent calendar.
Thank you. I'll second the motion. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak?
We have no request to speak.
All right, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Vice Chairperson Arenas
Yes.
and Chairperson Abakoga.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. So we'll go to our regular agenda. The first item, item 4, is to receive a report from our commissions that are supported by the Office of the Clerk of the Board, and to forward their reports to the Board of Supervisors for consideration. So I have the Airports Commission, Historical Heritage Commission, Parks and Rec Commission, Roads Commission, San Martin Planning Advisory Committee, and the Sustainability Commission. And we'll start with the Airport Commission. Welcome, and thank you for being here. We're asking for about 2-minute comments, and then if there are any questions, I hope you'll.
Great. Good afternoon, Chair Abikoga and Vice Chair Arenas. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today and for the constructive partnership we've enjoyed with both your offices during the past year. As we present the Airport Commission's work plan for fiscal year 26-27, I'd like to highlight both our priorities for the coming year and accomplishments that have positioned us well for the next phase of work. Our top priority continues to be securing long-term FBO and SAO lease extensions. These leases are essential to the stability of our airport system, to tenant investment, and to maintaining predictable revenue for the county. We look forward to continued collaboration with both the county executive and your offices as we work towards resolution. We're also expanding our outreach to businesses and organizations operating at county airports by gathering consistent data on their operations, workforce, training programs, and community impact. We aim to provide the board with a clearer understanding of the economic and educational value these businesses bring to Santa Clara County. Other major focuses is encouraging the board to begin long-term planning for the future of San Martin Airport. Working with airport staff, we will identify needed repairs and improvements and ensure that all planning aligns with FAA Airport Improvement Program eligibility. We'll also be conducting a comprehensive assessment of all services and assets at Reed Hillview Airport so that if relocation is necessary in the future, the county has a clear, well-informed roadmap. And finally, we will continue preparing recommendations for the county's readiness to support emerging EV TOL technologies engaging with providers, exploring infrastructure needs, and ensuring our airports remain positioned for innovation. The Commission would be more than happy to answer any questions you may have regarding EVTOL. Before closing, I want to take a moment to publicly commend Acting Director Scott Riddle and the entire airport staff. As you may recall, we previously had a pilot who regularly raises concerns at San Martin about maintenance. 2 meetings ago, that same pilot, unsolicited, offered very positive comments about the improvements he's seen and the responsiveness of staff. That kind of turnaround doesn't happen by accident. It reflects proactive, hands-on work by Scott and his team at both Reed Hillview and E16, and we want to acknowledge their efforts and professionalism. In the past year, we've also saw completion of the VTA ground lease negotiations and engaged directly with your committee with a request to consider including our commission members in planning and studies regarding the airport, and completed our review of the G100 UL fuel impacts and presented that recommendation to the Hewlett last November. We appreciate your continued partnership and look forward to working with you to ensure that county airports remain safe, well-managed, and aligned with the county's long-term goals. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, Professor Reyes? Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you so much, again, for making time to be here and your report. I'm really impressed with all the work that you've done, and thank you for the kind words about Mr. Riddle. And yes, it's always great to hear positive comments from our community. I'll just follow up with you offline, but I am very much interested in e-tolls, and I see the technology moving very quickly, and have been approached by my constituents about what we're doing and how we might be able to partner with some of the.
And just so you know, on the 16th, we will be having Joby Aviation come and make a presentation.
Oh, really?
They did their
Oh.
first Bay Area flight over the Golden Gate
Yes.
Bridge, and we were invited to that last month.
Oh, okay.
So I also just want to acknowledge Vice Chair Greg Hobbs is here with me today as well.
Okay, so 16th meeting of June, this month or?
Yes,
Oh, so
the
like.
16th of June.
Of
I'm
June.
sorry, the 16th
okay.
of June. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
We had to move the meeting due to the election being that night.
Yes. Okay.
So, but they will be presenting, and we're working with both of the major EVTOL providers that one of them is based right here in San Jose.
Yes, yes.
So we would love to work with you on that.
That'd be great. I will ask my staff to follow up with you then, and if I can make it, I'd love to come to that too.
Great.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Any other?
Oh, yes.
I do have I'm sorry, I do have a question. I know that you are potentially, you're conducting an assessment for all services and
I'm sorry,
provided.
ma'am. I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So this has to do with the Reed Hillview, the relocation, and so you're doing an assessment, right, of alternatives? Is that the idea?
What we're looking at is we thought that it would be helpful if indeed Hillview has to relocate, for us to know what assets are on the airfield and how many airplanes are involved, businesses are involved, things of that nature, because I think that that would be critical in the event that indeed the airport were to close. But that would have to be advanced work so that we knew what we were dealing with. As it stands right now, we don't believe that in its current configuration, E16 can handle that influx. And so there would be a lot of work that needed to be done. But you can't do that if you don't know what assets have to move there. So that's what we're looking at.
Got it, okay. So that assessment will help us understand how much additional traffic San Martin can handle, right? Not to say that all of the traffic will go to San Martin, it's just to figure out what do we have, and then where can it be rerouted, right? And then are you also looking at leases or?
So right now, as you know, our tenants only have one-year leases. And that really isn't enough to have a favorable business model for those businesses. So we're hoping on the lease side of it that we can at least extend those tenants to 2031, which is in my opinion, the right thing to do for them. At the same time, you know, we're going to need to know if that airport is to close, whether or not there's room for those businesses to relocate down to San Martin, or if we're going to lose them. Obviously, San Jose State's aviation program, I'm really concerned about, because they were already, moved out of one airport, San Jose International, to Reed Hillview, and so I'm concerned about their program as well.
Right?
Vice Chair Arenas, I don't think my mic works.
You know what?
1 second, we'll have someone troubleshoot.
Okay, well, we have apparently a technician right here.
Oh, they,
Yourself. Wow, that's impressive.
and thank you to the vice chair.
Testing. Oh,
Wonderful, thank you.
you have a second career potentially in FAF.
Sound technician as well.
As Vice Chair Arenas, Sylvia Gallegos, Deputy County Executive. The information the Airports Commission is seeking, obviously we have, and certainly in partnership will make available to the Airports Commission. But what I wanted to underscore is that there would be no work at San Martin Airport without a master plan update, and you would be advised, obviously, well in advance before any work would begin. And so I just wanted to provide that reassurance. They're seeking information because, yes, it's true that if, in fact, there were a closure, an organization would have to plan for it, and we can have a separate conversation with the board about that matter because it's been a few years since the topic has been discussed comprehensively. But I just wanted to emphasize that no work would occur there without, obviously, the knowledge of the board, the participation of the board, and starting with a master plan.
Got it. Thank you
And
so
if I
much.
could just interject momentarily, don't mean to interrupt, but the last time we appeared before you, we made that recommendation that we really did need to look at a master plan for San Martin, or at least an ALP at the very least, but there seemed to be some reluctance there.
What I would offer in this public setting is that our relationship with the FAA is complicated, and the current board's position is we don't accept airport improvement grants at Reed Hillview, but we do at San Martin Airport, because if in fact we were to embark on a master plan, we would seek airport improvement program grant from the FAA. They'll pay 90%. We'll have a 10% match. And so I wouldn't characterize it as reluctance, but more that it's complicated.
I understand. My apologies for using the reluctance word.
There's a reluctance to reluctance. How about that? Can I ask a little bit more about that? Because I know if we continue to accept grants from the federal government, does that mean that, does that qualify, how does that impact the Reed Hillview if San Martin is accepting?
So when the county accepts airport improvement grants, there are what are called grant assurances. I think there are over 40 of them. And one of them is to operate the airport longer than, it used to be 20 years, but I think they've now instituted longer terms. And so that's antithetical to a plan if the board were going to close. And so that's the primary concern with respect. And there's many other assurances that you have to operate an airport in conformance with rules and regulations set forth by the FAA.
Well,
And there are a
yes.
number of them.
Yeah, we would hope we would want to.
Including the fact that we can't preclude touch-and-go operations at all hours, because that's always been a source of concerns, and other kinds of terms that we have always found challenging.
Okay, got it. But my question was, is if San Martin continues to accept those airport improvement grants, does that, how does that impact potential closure for Reed Hillview? or does it? Because they're two separate.
It doesn't. I think we needed to get clarity from the FAA with respect to the scope of so in other words, at one point, there was a discussion about, and in fact, they withheld AIP grants due to an issue around skydiving in San Martin, and that was probably in the 2010 era. There was a point where we needed clarity about whether we could accept AIP grants for one airport and not another. That's been clarified. To answer your question directly, it doesn't implicate.
Perfect. Perfect. I mean, I'm interested in of course, San Martin Airport getting improved, irregardless of whether Reed Hillview closes or not. Obviously, if there's some transition of traffic, that would be impactful to the community. But I love that this is part of your goals and part of your work plan to have some of this work around San Martin, and in anticipation of a potential closure or not, to seeing first making that assessment and figuring out what do we have, and then where can all of this go. I think that is a great use of your commission time, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you. It was very nice to see you all today.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much again for coming out. We'll go on to the Historical Heritage Commission.
We do have Commissioner Martinez online joining us.
Good afternoon, Supervisors Coba and Arenas. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our comments, and thank you for the service you do for the County of Santa Clara, especially in these very, very difficult times. The Historical Heritage Commission basically works to preserve and protect the historical properties in the county regions, in unincorporated areas of the county. We work annually. There's a fund for historical projects, and the fund is reviewed by the Parks and Recreation Department and Commission. And then after they do the vetting, they send them to the Historical Heritage Commission, which then approves which groups will get the funding, because there's always more well-qualified groups than we have funding abilities. So we help focus which groups will get funded, and keep an eye on making sure that over time, groups that may or may not get funded are kept in mind for the next rounds. Generally speaking, our long-term goals in this, I wanted to point out to you, to both of you especially, are we work very closely with North County and South County. For example, in North County, the Stanford Historical District has lots and lots of historical properties and that need attention and work, and there's limited funding for those properties. So we look and make sure that we can protect as many of those as possible. As far as funding in North County, we have provided money for restoration of the Roth building frescoes in Palo Alto. And the Roth building has received significant support from the commission over the last few years. And its historical frescoes are really a treasure that we hope the public is much more aware of. And we have just, again, funded both restoration of the property and this year, restoration of the frescoes that are on the walls of the property. In South County, we work a lot because, especially the New Albaden Historic District, needs a lot of attention, in the sense that individual citizens who have properties in those regions always face all kinds of limitations of what they can and cannot do regarding modifying properties because they affect that New Almaden Historic District. And so we spend time with individual citizens who come and have a need for help in clarifying some of the uh, legal planning hurdles that they have. And one of the comments I wanted to make is that sometimes we say, well, they get stuck with bureaucracy, but actually, they don't get stuck with bureaucracy. It's that we don't have bureaucracy. Our problem is our planning department, I'm sure, is very limited in their ability. So it's very difficult for people to get answers to their issues quickly because there's certainly in the planning department more need for resources to help these individuals. The other thing that we're doing in South County is paying attention to the New Almaden, uh, certainly the Quicksilver Park, and there's lots of cleanup activity going there. So we're monitoring the activity and making sure that it's protecting the region. Uh, we also have worked to get more diverse groups from the city and county to be involved both in applying for some of these county grants, but to also work in helping the county seek resources and more support because we know that the county budgets alone can't solve all the needs that we have. So we do a lot of preservation outreach. We work with historical societies in North County, South County, with the preservation groups here in the region to coordinate public appreciation for history. And lastly, uh, one of the priorities I personally have been working with the group is that we're working on having increased awareness of the Mexican presence at the Almaden mine areas. We generally refer to them as Spanish town, but actually the history goes way beyond that. And so as we go, we will make both of you aware and meet with you individually about our work down there because you're both represent areas of South County. We have a lot of need to pay more attention to South County. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Supervisor Inez, do you have any questions?
Yes, I had questions about the trainings and what they could look like. And I'm really glad to hear that you mentioned South County. I'm sure Chair is happy for her north part of her county as well. I mean, I think it's wonderful that we continue to look at historical sites as we have plenty of history in our county. And unless we do some guarding, that sometimes gets destroyed when there's new development happening. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Could you just give me maybe one example of the educational trainings?
Just let me review my minutes here for a bit. What we've been doing is we are very aware that Santa Clara County is certainly a national model for the serving very, very diverse needs. You know, there are so many departments in our coming out of the county administrator's office regarding different diverse population from handicap and lifestyles and economic issues and gender. So what we've done is that we've invited speakers from within our own county departments to come and address our monthly meetings. And we ourselves are paying attention to going to their meetings so that we're more aware about how we can coordinate the resources that we actually have in the field. Another kind of training we're doing is that this historical process we work with is centered on the county plan, on the Parks and Recreation Planning Department and this historical commission. So we're spending more time working with the Parks and Rec Department so that we're more coordinated in what we're doing as far as guiding people when they want to apply for resources and helping the county more efficiently run the process, because as usual, there's more need for funding than we have the ability to fund. So we're looking at ways to make those processes work a little closer.
Well, listen, if there's, Dr. Martinez, if there's any opportunity for us to participate or to partner up in any way, please count on my support. I love that you're heading this and that you're continuing to look at all parts of the county. Love to hear your thoughts, maybe offline, about South County historical sites. I'm sure that you could teach me quite a bit on what that is. And so I look forward to the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, also Commissioner Martinez. Really do appreciate your mentioning both the south end and the north end. I've been learning more about the south part of District 5 as we do these community hikes in our county parks and open spaces, and learning about the mining, the history of mining and so forth. And really look forward to learning more from you as well. And I just wanted to pass along many thanks. I was in Palo Alto the other day and met the director of the new soon-to-be Palo Alto Historic Museum, which is in the Roth Building, and she expressed her her great appreciation for all of the support that you have provided the soon-to-be museum. So I just wanted to pass that along, that there's a lot of gratitude up in the North County area too. Thank you. Are there any public? Oh, actually, I think I'm going to take public comments at the end. So thank you so much, Commissioner. Please take care. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
We'll go to Parks and Recreation Commission. I see former Mayor Miller. Welcome.
All right, good afternoon, Vice Chair Arenas and Chair Abacoga and the county staff. I am the chairperson this year of a very enthusiastic group that provides guidance and input to the County Parks Department that oversees over 55,000 acres, second largest county park system in the state of California, with almost 3.5 million visitors a year. We have meetings every 2 months. They're robust. We cover all aspects of operations, natural resources management, the capital improvement stuff, which I'll talk about in a second. We get reports on the interpretive programs, the educational programs, the park management vis-a-vis fire safety, which is obviously a large concern with 55,000 acres, mostly in the hills. The operational aspects, the massive volunteer programs that we run, and I'm sure a few other things that I have forgotten, but more near and dear to your guys' heart, some of the capital things that we've worked on most recently, the Metcalf Motorcycle County Park Site Plan, exceptionally unique park in California for a county, provides off-road space for ATV and motorcycles. That had come to your committee in October, approved by the Board of Supervisors in December. We recently went through the Fortini site plan, the Fortini Ranch Farm, situated between two key parks, South County, for those who are trying to keep north-south straight. That will come to you guys, I think, in June. So I think that's working its way through the system. It might not be June, but it's coming up soon. We have done our part. It's an excellent connector piece. If there were no other parks and you said, hey, we're going to give you this flat piece of land and we're going to put a trail across, we'd all scratch our heads. But where it's situated, it's a major connector. Be highly used and very popular place. We did a draft alternatives input to the department for the Joseph D. Grant County Park Master Plan. And next year, you guys should see both the Joseph D. Grant Master Plan update and the Hellier County Park update come before you. And then we just received sort of an interesting report with this much land that was acquired through all kinds of various means. You can imagine that we have a huge number of structures. barns, houses, buildings, warehouses, and we received a very comprehensive report to our unused structures inventory, which I'm not sure that they're assets. They could be liabilities. They could be assets if there was money to rehabilitate them, and some of them are of historic nature, and obviously we're working with others to try and figure out how to preserve and enhance and potentially open to the public. And that's it in a nutshell.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for all the great work you're doing. Any questions, Supervisor? I was able to attend the volunteer appreciation. That was wonderful. It's just like amazing to see hundreds of people show up, and just really, gratifying to see how there's a lot of dedication and love for our county parks. And so
Our parks are exceptionally special.
they are.
6 times the area of San Francisco County, just in case you needed
That's
a little more
right.
bragging rights. So
Yeah.
all good. Thank you
Oh,
guys
thank
very
you.
much. Rob.
Thanks for being here. We'll go to the Roads Commission.
We do have Chairperson Oy joining online.
Welcome.
Thank you, honorable supervisors. Happy Bike to Work Day. Thank you for inviting the Roads Commission to give you an update on our work. The Roads Commission has been working hard to make our county roadways safer and more efficient for all users. 635 miles of county roads and 62 miles of expressways and lots of bridges. Thank you also for appointing 2 new members to our Roads Commission, so we're more likely to have a quorum so we can meet. Both are very engaged and well-spoken. We especially appreciate our new commissioner from Gilroy, so South County is well represented. This past year, we were happy that our active transportation plan has been adopted. We also worked on a Foothill Expressway feasibility study, our first review of that. We're currently working on the Santa Clara County Local Roadway Safety Plan, which is extremely important to make sure everyone's kept safe on our roads. We reviewed it once at the meeting just yesterday, and we'll be reviewing it again in June before we make a recommendation to the board on that. At this last meeting, our commission also voted unanimously to request that our County Board of Supervisors, if they can, endorse Connect Bay Area ballot measure to support our local transit systems so they can continue to operate. This increases safety on our roads, reduces traffic congestion and maintenance costs for our roadway system, and gets a lot of those who cannot drive to their destination in our county. This next year, we're looking forward in particular to some very important projects, the Capital Expressway pavement project, which we'll be reviewing, Foothill Expressway feasibility study, so we can get a safer biking, walking along that route. Looking at Homestead Safe Routes to School proposal, the Valley Transportation Authority is actually leading. And very importantly, our circulation and mobility element of our general plan, which has not been updated. It's been about 30 years since that was last updated. So we're looking forward to that, and there's other items on our work plan. That's it for my quick update, and I'm happy to take your questions.
Great, thank you. And yes, happy Bike to Wherever Day. Do you have any questions, Supervisor Arenas? No. Okay. Again, thank you for your great work. I was at an Energizer station at the Mountain View Transit Center, and great to see all the great volunteers out there supporting biking, and appreciate the update on all of the great projects that we're just continuing to plug away on. So thank you, and please thank your commission for us too. We will now move on to the San Martin Planning Advisory Committee.
We do have Vice Chairperson Luna online.
Great, welcome, Vice Chairperson.
Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is Sharon Luna, and I'm the Vice Chair of the San Martin Planning Advisory Committee, commonly known as SIMPAC. And I am here today for our Chair, Liz Parhadis-Bahanson. Thank you for recognizing the 26-27 work plan. The items that you see and read in our work plan, such as the SIMPAC membership and the expansion that we are going to proceed with the San Martin planning area, has taken years of dedicated efforts to accomplish. With the vital support of Supervisor Arenas and her team, we broke through years of being told no, it could not be done. Today, our committee is fully open to all residents, and while We are still working on the expansion of the planning area. We hope that that will come to conclusion very soon. Well, the planning department shifted away from our feeling of successful pilot in hearing developments. A different approach was made, and we are open to see how their recommendation flows. This is San Martin Planning Advisory Committee hears possible developments in San Martin and provides a recommendation. So we were looking forward to being able to have more developer interaction, and hopefully with this new plan, we will receive that. For any process to flow for meetings, meetings must actually happen. And slowly our meetings have been, down to 3-4 meetings per year. We are excited with starting in July that the meetings will continue on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. And work plans are very crucial to any organization or business. It shows how you're going to project or act or resolve issues for the coming year. So we're very excited about some of the things that are on our plan, such as working with code enforcement, having training on private well of water companies, and also training on the Williamson Act, hearing what the changes are, and also in regard to the rural zoning amendments that were put forth in 2018, but brought back again in 2025. And then through Supervisor Arenas' leadership, it is being brought back to the table. So very excited to see how that plans out. When an advisory committee steps up to drive action, that commitment must be respected by all planning commissions, planning departments, and the Board of Supervisors. We bring forth recommendations based on transparency and integrity. Our work is not about personal views. It must be about facts, all public input, and ensuring everyone has a clear update and understanding of current policies and procedures. This is another avenue that we want to take during this work plan, is to make sure that everyone understands the policies and procedures of the general plan, in specific what it pertains in San Martin. There are policies, RLU 113 to 148, that we should all be made aware of. Real progress requires community issues, such as the massive influx of mental health, residential, and community care homes in our small rural town. We thank the planning department for providing information in October as far as what was really happening, and it has been escalated. We are starting to hear more actions in South County, particularly in San Martin, but more needs to be done. Giving up is not an option. Please continue to or start recognizing advisory committees and appoint those who want to make a difference to uphold the values and offer solutions. We are trying to build the San Martin Planning Advisory Committee because we don't have a mayor or a city council. The Board of Supervisors are our conduit. And we hope to have a successful 26-27 work plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair. Any questions, Supervisor Arenas?
Thank you. And I also want to thank you for all the really wonderful work that you've been doing. If there's a default government infrastructure, you're it. And you've been leading that in San Martin for quite some time and tirelessly. So I really appreciate that. I think I also want to give credit to where credit is due, and our planning department, Jack, and of course Sylvia Gallegos have both been working on making sure that we continue to have, zip code 95046 be included in everything that involves San Martin, and as it should be, right? As it should be, and so it was a very justified fight, and I think we have a lot of folks to thank for the really great work. So thank you so much to both of the directors here, or I'm sorry, director and then deputy county executive, because there is a lot of behind the scenes work that doesn't get seen by a lot of folks. And I think today is part of that. And thank you, Chair, for allowing our commissioners to come in and share a lot of this feedback to us, or just reports, because it gives life to a lot of the work that people do, and we don't recognize it because we assume they're taking charge and going to these meetings, but hearing it from, straight from them, I think allows for all of us to understand, and certainly for me. So thank you so much, and yes, let's continue on. The work isn't done. Thank you.
I guess so. I just would echo the thanks. I really appreciate you. I hear your commitment and your dedication, and just really appreciate that. I learn a lot from these reports. I've learned from all of the reports so far, and it's a great way for me to just continue to glean from all of you who are doing the hard work. So thank you so much, and we'll continue going. Please give our regards to the rest of your committee.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go now on to the Sustainability Commissioner. I see Bruce. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Bruce Payton, and I've been lucky enough to serve as the chair of the Sustainability Commission. We've really got two broad roles that we play. One is we serve as a sounding board for the county staff on sustainability issues. The other is we listen to the community. So first, I want to thank you for the supervisors approved change in the financial policy to prevent new fossil fuel investments. That came to us from community groups and from the Silicon Valley Youth Climate Action Group. So thank you for giving them a victory with that. That's both good environmental policy, and I'm a retired business professor. I can say that's really good financial management on all of our parts. So thank you. We're relatively new commission, so we've still been ramping up. We've largely been in the mode of reviewing and responding to work from the department. And so that this year included reviewing a comprehensive climate action plan for Santa Clara and San Benito counties, and then just further work on reviewing the sustainability master plan. We've gone slowly, sometimes painfully slowly through that, but I think we've gotten to a point where we have a pretty good feel for what is and what isn't in that. So in the next year, we're focused on two big things and then a lot of smaller things. Let me focus on those. First is the Air District is wrestling with a very challenging issue of what to do about residential and commercial furnaces and water heaters. We and you will not be decision makers in that, but our role will be in trying to help folks both businesses and private residents make sense of what to do with that. And it's hard not to be sympathetic to both sides. This is really, really, really important that we reduce the reliance on natural gas in our buildings. At the same time, we really have to pay attention to the high cost of everything right now. And so we'll be working on how can we, both as a commission and how can the county staff be helpful with that. Part of that includes, helping with outreach on rebates and other programs to help. I guess our role with the Youth Climate Initiative is changing, and we'll be meeting with them and sort of exploring how can we be helpful, how can we take better advantage of a really good cooperation. And then the other main aspect of what we'll be doing is reviewing plans and policies related to climate risk. A lot of the work that we focused on in the past has really been around climate mitigation, CO2 reductions and that sort of thing. But now that we're really, really in the middle of the climate adaptation era, we're going to be focusing on a couple of things. One is the regional shoreline adaptation plan is rolling out, and we'll be reviewing that and seeing what issues need to come to you for attention, that sort of thing. The other is we've really initiated as a commission some action to review county plans and processes to address the various climate hazards, wildfire and extreme heat events, floods, those sorts of things. And I'm a geographer in training, and one of the things that jumps out at me is that each of your districts has a very different set of climate challenges. Supervisor Abakoga, fire risk is very large for you. Supervisor Arenas, as I look at data on extreme heat events, that strikes me as being a more prominent focus for you. And of course, in the district where I live, there's flooding concerns. So what we've decided to do is do some slow and thorough reviews of what have we got plans for, what do we maybe need more robust plans for in addressing climate adaptation. And beyond that, we have an ongoing item every year, and hopefully it'll always be there, which is to really focus on equity. And so reviewing in everything that comes in front of us, just to ask, does this treat residents fairly and equally? So with that, let me see what questions you've got.
Thank you so much. Any questions, Supervisor Inez? I just thank you again for all your great work. You're actually tackling some big issues here. I will say I was very happy to see the fossil fuel divestment item on our agenda, and was really anticipating that, and happy to see that we were able to move forward on that. Gas appliance ban, yes, I'm no longer on the air district. I just finished my term, but watched the meeting. I think they're continued it to the next meeting. But I see in that area, that space, just the need for ongoing education and outreach. I'll say that I was a little disappointed with my air district staff there. I think they got started a little late, and there's a lot of misinformation. I see Instagram ads that are not very accurate. So any help you can provide in that. And I would say you mentioned equity, and that's really a big piece of that issue too, to make sure that we can, help transition everyone equitably. So any work that you can do in that area would be fantastic. And yes, thank you I hear from my constituents often about wildfires, fire safety. And then I have the other side where I have the shoreline. So sea level rise is a big issue, and I know that there's some good work being done there. So thank you so much for being on top of all of those issues. Really appreciate you, and please relay our thanks to the rest of the commission.
And I think being a geographer serves you well, sir. I have a policy director who also majored in geography, and that comes in very well in District 1. So thank you so much for distinguishing some of the issues that each one of us is facing. And as you well know, we have a really huge, we probably have the largest districts geographically, obviously, right? With slightly different terrains, but complex nonetheless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That will end all of our reports, so we'll take public comment on any of the commission reports if there's any.
We have no requests to speak.
All right, then we'll close that item and move on to item 5, which is to receive a report from SEPA about the Animal Services Outreach Plan and development of a operating endowment. And I see members.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Oh, we'll start. Sorry, we'll start with you, Mr. Nolasco.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, Vice Chair. Edgar Nolasco, your SEPA Director, also your Tooth Fairy. For you that follow us on Instagram, we'll touch a little bit about this. I have the pleasure of introducing item 5. With me are my colleagues that have a brief presentation on all of our accomplishments and efforts as it relates to our communications plan and outreach plan for animal services.
Thank you, Chair and Vice Chair. My name is Carolyn Lay, and today I'm sharing how Animal Services is using communications and outreach to support the development of our operating endowment, an effort aimed at creating greater financial stability as the county continues to face budget constraints. Next slide, please. Our approach is to use strategic communication and community outreach to inspire action. The plan is grounded in behavior science, data, fund development, best practices, and the goal is to shift public attitudes towards giving while raising the visibility of animal services across the community. Next slide. We looked closely at donor research on why people give to animal welfare causes. To your left are giving motivations. These are underlying reasons people choose to donate. Across the board, people are motivated by wanting to help animals in need, and preventing animal cruelty is a major factor. To your right are giving influencers. These are external factors that encourage people to act. These are also factors that we can control, ultimately influencing the way people give. Donors want transparency, and they want to understand how their support makes a difference. So our takeaway is clear. We highlight our cruelty prevention work, share more success stories, and share the impact of our donations, and that's what builds trust and inspires continued giving. These insights help shape our 5 communication and outreach strategies. The first one is transparent giving options. We're showing exactly how donations help. For example, $25 covers vaccinations and microchipping for 1 pet. This information is easy to find on our brochures and our website. We also inspire ideas for more ways to give, listing options like stock donations, employer matching, or legacy giving on our website. The second is compelling stories. We're uplifting stories that show transformation, before and afters of animals that we've rescued or have come into our care, lost pets being reunited with their families, and adoption successes. These stories reinforce impact and show what donating makes possible for our animals. Third is community activation. We're creating fun and simple ways for people to get involved, like our awkwardly drawn pet portrait fundraiser, annual adoption events, and providing support to community members and businesses who want to host fundraising events for us and our animals. The fourth one is donor recognition and loyalty building. We show appreciation in meaningful ways. That includes handwritten notes stamped with a shelter animal's paw print, room naming opportunities, and a donor recognition wall. And fifth, strategic partnerships. We're expanding partnerships with businesses, community leaders, officials, and county staff. And ambassadors receive toolkits to amplify our messaging, and we're pursuing sponsorship and matching opportunities. All of this supports our three key goals: to increase financial and in-kind donations, cultivate long-term public support, and boost adoption and fostering. Since July 2025, we've made significant progress. Our operating endowment has grown by $322,000. This is driven by 3 fundraising campaigns that brought in more than $31,000 from over 230 donations, company matching that generated over $20,000. We received 7 major gifts totaling $255,000, and we saw 360 smaller dollar donations ranging from $1 to $4,999. Visibility is up too. Social media followership has increased substantially. Newsletter engagement remains strong, and our new donation page has seen triple the number since we launched it. Triple the number of visits since we launched it. As of April 2026, our operating endowment balance is at $1.4 million. In the coming months, SEPA will work with a fund development consultant to strengthen our fundraising and donor pipeline, major gifts program, and donation infrastructure. Throughout this period, our focus is business engagement, supporting fundraising events organized by community members who may be hosting them at wineries near our center, our commemorative brick program, and this year's Adopt a Pet event and Clear the Shelters event. In short, we're building a sustainable, community-powered model that supports animal services' long-term stability, so we can continue protecting animals and serving our community. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. Let's go to public comment. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak?
We currently have no requests to speak.
All right, thank you. Supervisor Arnaz, do you have any comments or questions?
Really just comments. This is really impressive that you got to 1.4 million is just absolutely fabulous. And the marketing campaign that you produced is right on track. I mean, this is why we see those sad commercials on TV. And, you know, it's not in the daytime. It's at night, you know. They get us when they're weak. I mean, I just think that this is really brilliant on your part to have done this, to have launched the donation page, to have, I mean, just the activities alone, and then sending a little paw print back to the donor is chef's kiss. Yes, amazing. I just wonder this concept, where else can we apply it to, right? Because we are doing some fabulous work across many different departments, many different fields, and if people are willing to spend like this on pets, potential pets, right? This is from the comfort of their own home. They're not their pets, but they're helping out a little furry somewhere, and so it allows for them to feel better about themselves, and then maybe because they can't own a pet because of their apartment or whatever it is, or their time. We saw a lot of pets go back to the shelters after the pandemic, right? Especially large dogs, from what I understood. So this is fabulous. What is what is it next on the agenda? Because I'm wondering, are you also going to do this, continue to do this so that you can pair, you know, a owner and a potential furry furry pet together? Like, what are your plans? I mean, brilliant here. You got it. You got the formula. You're going to continue with this formula. It works. You're probably going to just have to switch it up a bit so it doesn't get, you know, stale. And then I'm wondering, what about your plans to maybe match pets and owners?
That's a great question. And, you know, what's really central to animal services is not just protecting our vulnerable animals, but connecting with the community. And the great thing about our center is that it's designed for anyone walking by or walking through to feel very welcomed and connected to our animals. And so we have several events, annual events that we have, like Adopt a Pet, Include the Shelters event, where we're drawing people who might be interested in an animal, who are looking for their new best friend, or people who just want to check out the festivities. And that's how we can directly pair potential adopters with our animals. And then, of course, online, on our social media, all of our cute, adorable, available animals get so much attention. And a lot of our posts will describe their personalities, who would make a perfect match for them. And so those are the types of work that we're doing to boost adoption and fostering. And, of course, this work will continue to be successful with the help of the community as we shift their attitude and actions towards giving and supporting animal services.
I appreciate that. I was just thinking, you have this framework that that you've accumulated this amount of money from. Why not take advantage of it and integrate maybe? Have you thought about, you know, from Perry the parrot or whatever it is, just suggestions about potential matching to a pet? Has that happened, or are you not pushing the envelope just yet and just being grateful that they gave?
I'll pass it to my colleague, Lisa.
Matching can be a little bit difficult online and, you know, through our social media channels. So as Carolyn said,
well, not matching exactly. Let me walk it back a little bit. Just the interest in potentially matching, and then going to one of the events, which, by the way, are always fabulous. And Edgar, last time that I went, gave me this doggy, and then they took a picture of me and the doggy, and I'm like, damn it, this doggy looks like me. You know what they say, the owner looks like the, and I was like, no. So I handed it over because, you know, where I work, I can't possibly own a pet.
Well, we could amend those ordinances.
No, it's
really,
not an ordinance. It is. I'm saying, like, this is a lot of work. It wouldn't be fair to the pet.
Yeah, and it takes a community effort, and thank you for participating in that event. It was successful. We'll be communicating with your office to see if we could bring you back again. Yeah. It's Clear the Shelters, Supervisor Abekoga, you were there to tour it, and we've been partnering with your office. We've been partnering with every board office is how we get more engagement from the community, and we're slowly getting there with the help of my colleagues. And going back to your answer on matching, I think Lisa will be your best one to answer that because she's our guru for the Animal Services Center.
And thank you so much. Those are fabulous events, Edgar. There, I mean, just the buzz in the air at the shelter. I mean, it's transformed from a day where, you know, you're not seeing lots of folks coming in. I mean, and then the sponsorships are just absolutely awesome. So I wasn't saying like just match them like blindly and then, hey, you got a pet now. But you know what I mean? Like just interest, because they have an interest. They've put their interest in the form of money, right, towards you. And so is there a next step to maybe pull them into an event?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, I think, the groundwork that we're doing with everything that Carolyn's doing is you might not be in a position to adopt a pet right now, but if we're building interaction with you online, when you're ready, you're going to think of us first.
I love it. Great branding. Just absolutely congratulations. Fabulous work, all of you.
Fabulous, fabulous. Who would have known that in the end you would collect 1.4? That is just absolutely amazing. Amazing. I don't have any questions. They've answered everything.
I do want to add one more point to your question about matching. I mentioned that we do thoughtful thank yous with a paw print of a shelter animal, and we had recently sent a paw print to a donor, and we let them know that this was Athena. She's a German Shepherd. She's 10 years old. She's one of our longest residents. We put her animal ID on there as well. So kind of like a potential hey, we are so grateful for your support, and here's an animal that's directly receiving this type of support, and she's available. So, we find ways to kind of integrate the availability of our animals when our donors give.
Nice.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Oh, yes, I don't really have any questions, just a lot of thank yous, accolades. It was like a few months ago, and I follow you on Instagram, and I think you had like 30 little guys and little puppy doggies come in, and I have little ones, and I'm always looking for when can I adopt the next one, and it's always a debate with my husband. But I noticed just like the activity online, and I really appreciate the videos. And I've seen like dogs that are available, and then a few days later, I'll go online and look at the website, and then they're adopted. So it seems like it's been very successful, and really appreciate just in general SEPA and your whole department's really been so fiscally responsible and creative in finding ways to generate revenue. But I was really impressed with the X-ray machine, and I appreciate like the entire county organization getting involved, and I see the notices from other employees.
So we heard that we were in a structural deficit.
Yes, I appreciate
the need
that.
was there. Lisa communicated, we need a dental X-ray machine. And it really started as a joke from me
really?
to the team, saying, what happens if we could do a fundraiser, a challenge, and somehow embarrass me to, challenge the community to rise, and they did overwhelmingly. I think we're at 22,000 and counting.
Our goal was to raise $12,250 for a dental X-ray machine, and our community really stepped up. And also, thank you to a lot of company matching.
Yes.
That we raised $20,000.
That's great. Yeah.
And we got our director to dress up as the Tooth Fairy and visit the Animal Services Center.
It really motivated some of our colleagues
I'm sure it did.
across the table. I heard that CCO was pulling money together. Whatever it takes to really get folks to move that final step in order for them to be engaging with us. Yes. We think outside the box, and whatever it takes to ensure that we provide the best services to our animals.
I really appreciate it, and just impressed with all that you've done. I guess I do have one question, and sort of regarding like matching, but do you do, so some of I've always adopted my puppies from rescues and shelters, but the rescues do these little like Saturday afternoon at the Petco or something, where they bring the animals and have them, so people can come and spend time with them. Like, do we do things like that? I have to say, and I love San Martin, and I love going down there, but just because, our county is so wide, I was wondering, like, how can we get out to different parts of our county to just let folks know what we have available?
We do events like that from time to time. We have a pretty small staff, so weekends can be hard for us because we get essentially the most bang for our buck with the staff on site, where people know to come to us. And a lot of times with rescues that do those pop-up events, sometimes regularity is what, people remember them being there. So it's a little bit difficult for us to do that right now, but it is something we have done in the past and we'll likely do again in the future.
Yeah, I know it's like a very volunteer-intensive program, but it seems like we have a growing volunteer base too. So,
And
That'd
as
be great.
Carolyn mentioned, the wineries love having us,
Oh,
and
right.
people tend to be animal people
And they
too,
give
and
more.
those tend to be really successful as well.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much, and congratulations on the great success. That will close this item as an information
Thank you.
item. Thank you. We'll go to.
And apologies, we have no request to speak for this
Oh,
item.
I'm sorry. Yes, we'll take public comment.
We have no request to speak.
Okay. Oh, no request. Okay, thank you.
Wait a
Excuse
minute,
me.
I was hoping to make a motion so that we can approve this and also ask for a picture of the tooth fairy.
Oh, yeah.
If the chair so
I'll
approves.
second that motion.
I'll sign it for you, Vice Chair. Chair, happy to do so.
I'm sorry.
Sign that picture for you guys.
Oh,
Happy
thank
to
you.
do so.
Oh, okay. You'll autograph it even. Thank you.
It'll have a
Have
QR
a-
code for potential Amazon wish
yes.
list,
Yep.
donations.
Yep, you know
Foster
what?
kitten season is starting as well.
Yeah, that's you're doing your job. So yeah. Great, thank you. So we have a motion to accept the report with a autograph photo attached, and I'll second that.
Perfect. Would you like to take a vote? Vice Chairperson Arenas
Absolutely.
and Chairperson Nabakoga.
Yes.
Thank you. And I believe Ms. Pianka
I'm
has an
sorry.
announcement.
Yes, thank you.
Is
I
it-
just want to interject. So
Not allowed.
item,
Oh, it isn't. We can't take the photo.
no. This relates to item number 4. And because the item is to receive the reports, but also to forward the reports to the
Okay,
Board of
yes.
Supervisors, it does require a motion. So
Okay,
I
yes.
respectfully request that you return to item
Thank
4
you.
for that
Thank you for that.
motion.
Would you mind making a motion, Supervisor? On
Absolutely.
item 4?
So I'll return to item 4 on our regular agenda, which is to receive the report and to forward that report to the Board of Supervisors.
And I'll second that motion.
Vice Chairperson Arenas
Yes.
and Chairperson Nabakoga.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you. Thank you again. We'll now go on to item 7, which are reports from the various Hewlett committees. And we'll start with Department of Planning and Development.
Good afternoon, Jacqueline Anciano, Director of Planning and Development. I have no report, but other than to say we partner with SEPA, and we are having our all-staff meeting again there, and we're already generating our blankets, our toys, and so we're on board. Oh, they had us. He had us already. He had us when we saw the facility. It's absolutely beautiful. And so when we go down for our all-staff, the staff rotate in. And we have one of our program managers, Leilani Locker. She adopted an animal, and then we had this gingerbread house competition, and she did the rescue center for her gingerbread. So you guys have an amazing impact. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's great. Thank you. We'll go to Mr. Anand. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Anand Prasad, Deputy Director, Roads and Airports Department. I just want to share with you, with the summer coming up, we are working on our payment preservation plan according to our 7-year payment preservation plan. As part of that annual plan, we'll be performing payment rehabilitation for 53 miles of our roadways this year. It's going to begin in June, and it'll complete sometime in August. That's the end of my report.
Through the chair, how many miles did you?
53 miles.
53. Thank you.
Any other questions? Great. Thank you so much. We'll go to Parks and Rec. Yes, Mr.
Hi, Todd Lofgren, Santa Clara County Parks Director. A couple items. This Saturday, May 16th, is National River Cleanup Day. And so Santa Clara County Parks will be hosting volunteer cleanups at Coyote Lake County Park and Hellier County Park this Saturday morning. Our prescribed fire program is proceeding with CAL FIRE at Clara County Park to establish fuel breaks around 2 prescribed fire units. CAL FIRE hand and engine crews made significant progress on that. And we're planning to commence implement our vegetation management plan there, and a prescribed fire event is scheduled for mid-June. Again, all of our burning operations are subject to weather conditions at the time of the burn. And then at Marshall Cottle Park, we'll be celebrating Native Plant and Pollinator Week by hosting a community event June 13th from 9 to 12, and we'll have tours, presentations, and resources about native plants and pollinator education. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Oh, all right, we'll move on to SEPA. Tooth Fairy.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair at NS. Quick reminder to our parcel property owners, our MVCD assessment is wrapping up. May 19th is the last day to vote. We must receive that ballot before May 19th. Postmarks are not accepted, and we'll be coming to your board to officially start the public hearing and commence the tabulation process.
Great, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Any questions? And we'll go to Ash. KJ.
Hi,
Lots
KJ.
of good news.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you. Yes, as you noted, we have lots of good news in the form of many events that we've been hosting or partnering on, including celebrating the grand opening of Mitchell Park Place in Palo Alto last week. Earlier today, we celebrated the grand opening of the Palo Alto Home Key Project. And tomorrow, we have two grand openings, Mariposa Place in District 4 and the Charles in District 2. And then later this month, we have two groundbreaking events that we're looking forward to, including Mountain View Lot 12 on May 27th and the Berryessa TOD groundbreaking project, or groundbreaking on Friday, May 29th. And that one is also, or these are also part of our Affordable Housing Month. Many events happening across the community for Affordable Housing Month. Then the other update I'd like to share is about our community plan to end homelessness update process. We've completed 5 city council study sessions to get input and inform the plan. We have hosted community engagement sessions in South County, North County, West Valley, and then tonight is our San Jose convening. And there's a virtual session for community engagement next week on May 21st. And if folks are interested, there's also the draft is on our website currently, as well as an email if folks have feedback that they would like to provide outside of those sessions. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any questions? I just want to say thank you to you, KJ, and your staff. I was able to go to Mitchell Place, and then this morning over at Project Home Key in Palo Alto. And today there was a speaker who is, I think, the manager of the new project, and she is someone with lived experience, and just gave this incredibly moving remarks and told her story, and it really, just really amplified how these projects are. It's not just about a place, but how it's really helping folks and providing opportunities for them to move on a path forward. So it just really, it really makes this job, like this is what makes this job worthwhile. And so I just really want to thank you all, because I know that there's a lot of work that has to be done, and I'd heard there's some hiccups with the Home Key project, and I having done the first Home Key project in Mountain View, I know how challenging that could be, and so I just really want to thank you all for your dedication and hard work. And with that, I think we'll close this item.
And before we move on, we have no request to speak for this item.
Yes, is there a public comment, please?
No hands raised on Zoom and no request to speak in chambers.
Okay, great. Then we will close item 7, and I believe we move to adjournment. Yes, and our next regular meeting is scheduled for Thursday, June 25th, 2026 at 10 a.m. in the Board of Supervisors chambers here at 70 West Heading Street in San Jose. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of the afternoon. Take care.